Truck is the kind of guy that people just wanted to be around. And he always had a positive thing for somebody, always had a hand out to help somebody. If you needed him in the middle of the night, as Wayne would say, he was there to help you out, man. And he was also like the ultimate connector. If you needed a connection with something, man, he made it happen. Hey there, como se va and que pasa? Welcome to the In the Pocket with Jay Bo podcast, and I'm your host, Jay Bodwin. Today we have a great show that we're going to be doing. It's on a high school friend of ours, Donald Truck Hymel. If you would, please subscribe or follow us. We're on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, and also on Amazon Music. So we're all over the place, and appreciate if you'd follow us. So with today's show, we're going to be talking about our friend that passed away a little bit, almost 2 years ago now, I think, guys. And Donald Truck Hymel, he had a big impact on all of our lives. Just an everyday type of guy, which our podcast is based upon, which is like the old Sly Stone saying, everyday people and extraordinary stories about them as well. And with that, I'd like to introduce our panel of guests that we have on the show today. The first one we have is from the West Bank of New Orleans, probably knew Truck the longest, closest to him out of everybody here today. And that would be Wayne LeBlanc. Welcome to the show, Wayne.
Welcome, dog. How you doing, Jay?
All right, brother. Good to see you. Next, we have number 44 from the Archbishop Shaw Eagles back in the day, class of 1982, middle linebacker, Kevin Duck Prestonberg. Kevin, welcome to the show, brother. Good to see you.
Thank you, dog. Good to be here.
All right, man. Next, we have number 21, the wide receiver that made a lot of quarterbacks look good back in the day, class of 84, Brian Baines' father. Welcome to the show, Big Baines.
Thanks for the invite.
You're very welcome, dude. And last but not least, we have the Big Turk from the West Bank of New Orleans. We call him Turk, but his real name is Darren Vincent, the big man. Darren, welcome to the show, brother. Good to see you.
Thank you, Gerald. It's a pleasure to be here with these chumps.
All right.
I'm glad you had the show. I'm glad you had the show so we knew Darren existed.
So today's show is we're going to have some serious talk. We're going to have a lot of funny things that we're going to discuss as well. But first of all, I'd just like to read a little bit about Truck that I found. And he was a graduate of Archbishop Shaw High School in Marrero, Louisiana, alumnus of LSU in Baton Rouge. And he was a student equipment manager at both institutions before pursuing sports administration at the Sports Academy in Mobile, Alabama, and honing his skills at Chapel Hill in North Carolina and at Nicholls State, Harvard, and the Bayou. His journey continued at Tulane, where he ascended to the role of assistant equipment manager under Coach Buddy Stevens, and then Coach Tommy Bowden, eventually joining Clemson University as the assistant athletic director alongside Coach Bowden. In 2009, he married his beloved wife, Dana, settling in Youngsville, Louisiana. He was a true family man. He took on the role of athletic director at Archbishop Shaw, leaving an indelible mark in his trail there. His first love was his family, of course, and and he also was a big-time sports enthusiast, as we all know. He reveled in LSU, Clemson Tigers, the Florida Gators. I didn't know the tie he had with Florida. Archbishop Shaw, of course, and so many other college teams, college baseball, and, of course, the Saints. He was Bobby Tulane. I brought them up earlier, Tulane Green Wave. He would be real proud of how they're doing now. Known for his culinary talent, Truck lit up gatherings with his cooking skills, especially during tailgates. His zest for life extended to travel and camping, making him the life of the party. Truck's legacy is one of love, commitment, and a genuine passion for both family and the world of sports. Above all, his deepest joy stemmed from the precious moment shared with his son, Jack, whether proudly coaching him in flag football, baseball, or basketball, or imparting valuable skills through the Cub Scouts. Truck found unparalleled fulfillment nurturing his son's growth and development. Their bond, forged through shared passions and guided by Truck's mentorship, stands as a testament to his unwavering commitment to family and the joy he found shaping the next generation. So he really unexpectedly passed away almost 2 years ago. I want to say it was November 18th maybe, and I was shocked when I heard about it. And man, he's big time missed. He had a big impact on a lot of our lives, just as a good friend. Like I said, he not a celebrity or, somebody famous because of science or a doctor, but he was just a great everyday guy and just an outstanding friend with a lot of good moments. And it's just one of these guys that him being in your life made it better. And just we can say that about a lot of people, but again, Truck had a big touch amongst a broad spectrum there. And so for today's show, we're going to look at having kind of a round robin format and with four guests. And I really appreciate all of you guys being here in your spare time. It really makes a difference. There's going to be a lot of laughing. There's going to be a lot of heartfelt moments and just paying tribute to a good friend of ours. So if y'all ready, we'll go ahead and get started. And I want to start off real quick with a short story on Truck, just the kind of guy he was. And he knew I was a big New Orleans Jazz fan back in the day with Pistol Pete and Truck Robinson, and that's where he got his nickname from. We'll talk about that later. I got a mail package out of the blue, I want to say maybe about 4 years ago, and it's from Truck, and I'm like, man, what is this? I open it up, and it's an old picture of the New Orleans Jazz basketball team from, I think, the 76-77 season with Pistol Pete and all those guys in it. Man, he just did that out of the goodness of his heart. But just the fact that I didn't have to ask him to do that. He knew how much I loved the old team and like talking about the memories of the team. And he just puts it in the mail, sends it to me one day, has a little note on it saying, big dog, man, I know you love the Jazz. I hope you like this. Take care of this thing, man. And it just really touched me. I thought it was an awesome thing that he did. And again, that just reflects the kind of guy and the kind of heart that he had to reach out and have a really positive impact and to make people smile, in his own unique way. So
Dog,
if y'all ready, go ahead.
I had a conversation with Truck, me, him, and my wife, probably, a short time before he passed.
Okay.
And he was explaining to my wife about his love for LSU and why, everything, every vacation they had, every opportunity, the time spent with his dad and things like that was all about LSU and his love for, the sport and reading the paper and things like that. And when he would come across somebody like yourself that kind of had the same respect or the same passion about an opportunity, he felt he was connected to you. So
Right.
that does not surprise me that he did that for you because, that was also a piece of him to enjoy it that much. And he wanted everybody else to enjoy, just sports in general too, and the things that he loved. Now, he had problem with the non-revenue generating sports, which we all
Right.
kind of,
Right.
Yeah, problem with revenue.
but hey, it's, that I totally get what he did right there. Just remembering that conversation as clear as yesterday, but his passion and his love for it, anybody else that had it, he felt so connected to.
Absolutely, Theron. Very good point. And Brian, I'm just telling you, man, when I got that in the mail and opened it up, but I saw his name on it, and man, I opened it up and I'm like, wow, man, this is freaking cool, man. For this brother to think of me like that, to send it to me, it was pretty cool, man.
His greatest gift was taking care of everybody around him. There's no doubt.
Right.
He took care of
Exactly.
everybody.
Show
And we all
runner.
want to taken care of.
Showrunner.
What's that, Kevin?
He is the showrunner. He had his hands on
Oh
everything.
yeah, yeah, no doubt, no doubt. Wayne, you had something there you wanted to say?
I'm gonna start out on your intro there, correct on a couple of things because Truck would want it to be right. It's not that you.
Sure. No, please
anything
do.
wrong.
Please do.
Well, first of all, his greatest attribute to culinary was eating. Okay, that was his greatest attribute. That's on a light note. On a light note, but Dana, I think she misunderstood what I said. Truck was never athletic director at Shaw.
Okay.
He was
Okay.
fundraiser. First of all, he wouldn't want to be in the same realm of those.
No, I
We've never
appreciate you
really-
saying that.
we
Just
never really
I
had
didn't
these-
remember that.
We never really had that, we never had a athletic director that was an alumni,
Right. Right.
It was always
Like-
a priest or Tom
Right.
Aliff or whatever. But anyway, you wanted to know the beginning, the first memories of me and Truck. Well, first memories is met Truck in grammar school. We went to St. Joseph. I went to St. Anthony, but he was a year ahead of me. And one of the best memories, I'm on a JV basketball team, and him, Guy Muller, Billy
guy,
Flash, Steve Bourgeois, all these guys on the 8th grade team, and they playing for Hank. Well, everything Hank did. I mean, in the summers, we playing baseball. Hank's practicing flag football and softball in the summer. Okay, so basketball. Hank was a better basketball coach than anything. But anyway, I remember we played JV first, and then Truck and him had to play our 8th grade team. We had a big, giant Randy Loop, who was about an inch shorter than me. Truck and him beat him 66.
Jesus.
Now, Truck never crossed the half court line. That's a snowbird, son of a bitch.
Right.
That dude, he scored a lot of points, but he didn't know how to spell defense.
Right.
But that's the first time I met him. But this is the most finest memory of the early years of meeting Truck, and it's going to have to do with Biggin, too. Right. He's going to bring in another friend of ours, Brad Niehaus' house.
Right. Brad Niehaus, yeah. And Biggin is Ray Jonfro, just so everybody knows. Go ahead, Wayne.
So I'm a freshman at Shaw. Brad's in 8th grade at St. Anthony. And we go to the regional, Southeast Regional American Legion tournament. And Biggin and Truck are managers in the dugout. Lo and behold, Brad's mom and dad had brought us, Mr. Marty and Cheryl Niehaus. So, Brad hadn't decided where he was going to go to high school yet. So there's a bad call to play. Everybody's going crazy. And there's 2 voices for the dugout are just bombing the umpire with F-bombs, this boom, boom, just blowing them. Miss Cheryl looked at Brad and said, "You're not going to Shaw." Right there in the stands. "You're not going to Shaw." As a kid, Biggin and Truck were just going crazy.
Oh,
but anyway, that's the earliest memory. But he and I were basketball managers and football managers together. And we both, Truck couldn't play anymore because he had a bad eye, so he couldn't play sports. I had a bad growth spurt, so I couldn't play sports. So, we knew where we were going, but we wanted to be around it. And he and I bonded like that. We enjoyed it. We didn't care. We didn't have to be in the game. We were around the game. You do what you can do to tribute to what you love to do. And Chuck loved to do it. But anyway, he was one of a kind, and we got a lot of good stories. So that's my early beginnings of meeting and knowing Chuck.
No, I appreciate it, Wayne. And there's a lot of stories out there with people like that. But I know you were really close to him from an early age, and throughout Shaw and LSU and things like that. And we'll be talking about some of that as well. Brian, I'm going to come to you first. What is your first memory of meeting Truck?
The first time I ever met Truck, I met 2 greats in my first PE class at Shaw, Truck and Boss.
Okay.
And I didn't know Truck's name. And they were picking basketball teams. And for some reason, we had freshmen with seniors. And Coach Z, as he calls him, Donald Hymel, you're going to be to pick your team. So we've gone through the whole thing. And I don't even think Truck knows my name. He calls me Woodland West. He'll go, "I'll take Woodland West." So I don't really know too much about the Jazz or whatever. So he's like, "Okay, bring up the ball, and I want you to throw it to Robinson." Well, I know his name's Hymel, so I'm thinking one of the other 2 guys' name's Robinson. So I throw it to the other guy, and he's like throwing his hands up. So I bring the ball again, and he's like yelling, "Throw it to Robinson, give it to Robinson, give it to Robinson." I throw it to the other guy, thinking that's Robinson. So by this time, he's had enough of me. He comes over, he goes, "I'm Truck Robinson. You give me the ball, I'll put up points." I said, "All right." So I dribble down right past half court. I give it to him, and he takes a shot from 100 feet away and yells, "Aaron James from the parking lot." And I'm like, "What are you doing?"
AJ from the parking lot, baby.
Yeah, you know it, baby.
High Rod Hunley.
Yep. And so I was so frustrated with him. He thought it was hilarious. And he goes, "Look, Woodland West, you stick with me. I'm going to take you places." And he did. He took me a lot of places.
That's definitely Truck.
Give it to Robinson.
Truck Robinson. Well, let's clear that up real quick first. So Truck Robinson he was a forward in the NBA. He played for the New Orleans Jazz, I think a season and a half, Wayne.
Went from Tennessee State to the Jazz.
From Tennessee State, he played for the Washington Bullets with Big E, Elvin Hayes, and then he got traded to the Jazz. And I think it was in the 76-77 season. And then he played the 77-78 season when Pistol Pete and him were together. And that's when Pete got hurt at the end of January when he tore his knee up against Buffalo. But Truck Robinson, I think he averaged like 24 points a game, but he averaged like 14 rebounds a game, something like that.
That's because he kept missing layups and rebounding them. I used to tell that to Truck.
He turned on, man. No, Truck Robinson wasn't shooting from the parking lot. He was on baseline off the banker off the from the baseline, I think, right, Baines?
And then when he made it, he would say Robinson. He'd scream Robinson at the top of his lungs.
All right, so Kevin, let me go to you next. What's your first memory of meeting Truck?
Well, I didn't know Truck until high school, unlike Wayne, but kind of the same thing. I remember, I forget the situation or what the occasion was. It was just one random day after school. There was a pickup basketball game going on upstairs at Shaw. So I walk up and there's one guy, I mean, and y'all remember Truck in sophomore year at high school, wasn't the Truck who graduated from LSU. Skinny guy.
Nah.
Circle glasses, and just running his head on the basketball court, screaming, "I'm open! I'm open! Get it, Truck! Get it, the Truck! Get it!" And just running the show, in control of everybody up there, and just in his glory, playing basketball, shooting from the parking lot, and just, and I was like, this guy has got something going on. Yeah, I don't know what's up with him, but soon to find out. A few months later, he was. How heavy into sports he was, and how much he was going to be a part of my life. That's the memories. Absolutely. I remember when I first met him. Just how loud he was, and there was no filter.
No. Brian, and he's definitely talking in the third person, right?
He did it before Ricky Henderson.
Right. Yeah. Ricky gone.
Yeah, he was definitely his biggest fan. No doubt.
Well, I tell y'all, for all the viewers out there, Wayne's going to keep it real Don Rickles on Truck. I'm telling you that.
Props. Give him his props.
So, Darren, what's your...
I can hear him right now. Okay.
Darren, what's your first memory of meeting Truck, man?
Oh, it involves two, and one's on the phone. So,
okay.
I remember seeing from afar when we was in high school, because it was a couple years behind with Brian. I'd see him and Wayne on the field pregame for the football games. And, it was two things. It's like, dang, that little dude can throw the ball, talking about Wayne. And then Truck was running around like a chicken all the time, just taking care of business. And, like you saw him all the time, right?
Right.
So fast forward, our first semester at LSU, they said, Mike Stahl tells me, hey, we got to go to Brightside. They're watching the Cubs game, right? Cubs was in the playoff, right, Brian B?
Yep.
They had a party going on. So I showed.
Oh, yeah. It was a party.
1984.
That one party has 12 stories.
Yeah, they had like I think it was a $12 grill going with food on it. They had a keg of beer and a baseball game on, and a bunch of idiots all running around like they was crazy.
Darren, I don't want to interrupt you before I forget real quick. The one time, because after we got out of college, we all know what we call big hooks, right? Because he reached in his pocket and nothing would come out. No money. Well, Biggs was the only guy with a job back then. Biggs got the keg, put it in the truck. Biggs was the man. Biggs was the man. Like he was Donald Trump. Biggs was Donald Trump that day.
Yeah, he was exactly. So, and here's this guy, he's barking orders, he's talking trash, he's telling everybody, and that was my first experience with Truck. I was like, geez, this is awesome, So, and which, soon sank my college career, but hey, there it goes, Yeah.
Right. Well, I got to tell you, the first time I met Truck was in the cafeteria at Shaw, and Miss Lucy was selling donuts, and he was in line ahead of me. And man, I'm like, who the hell is this guy? He's up there telling Miss Lucy what to do and this and that, and everything else. And Kevin, you know what he's doing? Show running, baby.
That's it.
And we were freshmen at Shaw, like when Kevin met him there. And man, and I heard somebody calling him Truck, and I'm looking at him like, Truck. And he turns around and goes, because I go, Truck. He goes, yeah, son. He calls me son. Yeah, son. Truck Robinson, New Orleans Jazz. I went, okay. That was it. I ended up sitting next to him like a couple days later, and then we started talking about the Jazz and all that shit and everything, and Pistol Pete and all that stuff. But man, that dude knew as much as I knew back then, which was pretty damn impressive when it come to that type of stuff. So,
I just wanted to
Truck. Go ahead.
He always had a newspaper. Always had the sports section. before we had the internet,
Man, yeah.
that's the first thing he did in the morning. He got stop, get stuck. We gotta go to the store. We got a newspaper. Get a newspaper. Got to get a newspaper. And throw everything away but the sports section. But he always had the sports section.
Believe
Lesson
me,
learned, baby.
if that's the
You
Yeah,
got
Well,
got
it'd
that
be the
right.
worst story on the podcast. It's not the worst story, but it would be the worst one on the podcast.
yeah.
Well, no, let's all right. So I got when everybody first met Truck. Good stuff. So let's move on to our next question, which should really add a lot of comedy. What is one of the funniest moments that you ever experienced that Truck was either the cause of or he was a big part of? I'll put it that way. So who wants to go first?
The funniest moment?
The funniest moment.
Yeah, I'll tell the funniest moment.
Go ahead, Big Wayne.
So Truck is probably in I don't know, maybe year 5 at Clemson, okay? Or whatever. Truck can figure out how to do something and get away with it anywhere. Truck never asks for permission. He always asks for forgiveness.
Right.
So he builds this Cajun cafe in outfield, and he had it a foot away from the fence so he can serve liquor and all that. But that's that story. That's gonna come in later. But anyway, we all know how much Truck loved Eddie Money,
Oh
the
yeah.
Money Man. Okay. So we up there, we going up there to watch a baseball series and go to the Cajun Cafe, which just so happens they got a concert at Clemson that weekend, and Eddie Money is one of the guests.
Oh wow.
So weeks before he comes in, Ed calls Money. He says, "Money Man, got it all for you, brother. You're gonna throw out the first pitch of the Friday night game." So the coach at
Jim Leggett.
the time was
Jim
Jack
Leggett.
Leggett.
Jack Leggett. That's it.
Jack Leggett. And
Jack Leggett,
anyway,
okay.
so Money Man comes in. So by the way, the concert never went off. It rained. But anyway, Truck's got him a shirt made. Money Man, they in a bullpen, kind of warming up before the first pitch, and I'm looking at Truck. I'm like, man, he's definitely good thing he can sing because he's not an athlete. So he gets up there, and Jack Leggett, Truck's always talking about Money Man and Jack Leggett. Yeah, okay, Truck. Well, he knew him. Truck really didn't know him because he stalked him. Anyway,
Right.
It's a groupie.
so Money Man gets up there, gets on the mound, catches his glove. He throws the ball, it goes 10 feet straight in the ground. I mean, it just went 10 feet, went straight in the ground. Jack Leggett turns to Truck and says, "Nice idol, Truck." So Money Man comes to the Cajun Cafe after with his band members. He goes, "Boys, bring your gloves on the road. We got to practice."
Oh yeah, no doubt about that. We all know how much he loved Eddie Money.
After he got rid of
Brian, what you got? One of the funniest moments you ever had with Truck?
We were in Chicago about 10 years ago, and I don't know if you know him, dog. I know Bull and probably Kevin know Joey Trush was with us.
I don't know him well, but I know him.
Yeah, he's smiling and Wayne, and he's like talking
Little
about
bitty guy.
how he was this great track star, and he could run a mile in this how many minutes, or he could run 100 meters in 12 seconds, and he's just going on and on and on. We leave in the Cubs Stadium on Waveland, and Truck said, "I heard enough. Me and you right now, we racing down Waveland."
Oh,
So there's
my.
crowd on both sides
About
of
10 years
Waveland.
ago?
About 10 years ago, yeah. And Truck got a backpack on. Truck has a backpack on. So we moved the crowd, and they get in their stance, and the crowd's watching them, and Truck takes off like a rocket, and I'm not joking. He takes
Okay.
off like a rocket. He beats Joey by about 50 yards. The guys in the crowd, there's this guy yelling, "Come on, big boy, way to go, big boy." At the end of the race, non-truck. They thought it was the greatest thing I've ever seen. I actually think after 20 yards, Joey ran into a parked car.
No, I actually tried. I think halfway through, I think when they took off, Joey ran like
Right into the
directly
car.
right. Directly right because he was so loaded.
I am so I was chewing on that story when I was waiting for Dog to call on me to tell it, Brian, and you stole my damn story. That was so awesome.
That was a great
Hey,
story.
Darren, how fast did Truck look in that race? I'm serious.
He
Let me
did.
just say,
He took off.
it was like the twins, right? It was big and small. True should have beat him by a mile. Truck bolted. I mean,
He
he was
bolted.
like gone. And like none of us, I lost my breath because I was like, oh no. And he just took off. It was, and the hilarious thing is that the crowd we cleared all chimed in, all got into it. Truce, like he said, like Brian said, just went directly right. He was done. And it,
But guys,
You run
that's
into a
another
parked
thing.
car.
That's another thing. Truck put those trips together.
yeah.
With Truck
Yeah.
didn't do, Truck wasn't afraid to ask anybody anything. We went to Chicago so many times.
Yeah.
I mean, we were
He
in a
got his
suite.
suites, everything.
We were in a suite.
I
I
mean,
mean,
The Martin kicked him out.
he was relentless. He was the best, man. Whatever
Oh, yeah,
he
without
could
a
do.
doubt.
we'll give a good story. One of these ones, and Brian probably Brian won't be able to breathe for a second. So he put together the infamous RV trip, right?
Oh,
And
yeah.
Oh,
Great Lakes
Lord.
tour.
yeah, we staged ourselves outside of Cleveland Stadium in some parking lot. And we go to sleep, right? Well, biggest gets up and puts his lid on. Little do we all know he's sleepwalking. He
What?
said he's opening the
sleepwalking.
curtain. He's
He's
sleep.
trying
Ray
to
was?
climb off the front of
Ray?
the truck.
No,
Truck.
truck.
Was
You said
sleepwalking.
big boy, you mean? You said
Yeah.
Oh,
big.
big boy. Okay, I
Yeah.
thought you said big.
Yeah.
Okay,
Truck
so truck was sleepwalking.
truck was sleepwalking.
Oh, he did
Damn.
that all the time.
Oh, it was hilarious. And the funniest part to me always was Brian and them were killing themselves because they were like, look, he got up, he put his lid on,
put his
he
lid
was
on.
ready to go.
Did he put his hands on his hips and
Dog.
Yeah,
that
what
trip,
a great RV owner he was. Does anybody in the world do this?
he picked us up in an
Does anybody in the
RV.
world pick up an RV, never drove one before, never looked at one before, and goes on a trip?
We went to like 12 places. We went to Cleveland, Detroit, Cincinnati, Cooperstown, Toronto,
Chicago.
all in Mississippi. Chicago.
Niagara Falls. Yeah,
Oh,
we got to talk about grilling. Brian B. And we got to talk about what you did grilling at Niagara Falls.
Dog, we having a conversation, and Jeff Wooten said something like, man, you know, Little Debbie's are like the greatest dessert of all time. Truck stops the RV, pulls it over, opens a cabinet, it's full of Little Debbie's. The whole thing's full of Little Debbie.
Wood had no clue?
No, we didn't have any clue. Truck left
No
no
clue.
stone unturned. No stone unturned.
No, stuff.
Hey,
Look,
that's a
I would've loved to know
showrunner
Truck
skills,
his list.
baby.
Trucking his list. I would have loved to seen the list he had for the RV because
And-
dogs
oh,
you asked
man.
for it was in there. Yeah.
Yep.
He,
Hey,
look,
we need to
he
get a
opens
list.
up the back
We
of the
need to get a
RV. Goes,
list.
Chuck, you got this. He pulls out a barbecue pit. I built a barbecue pit that he had inside the RV.
It's,
He definitely
I
had
will
we
say
need-
this: whatever
Duck, we
Truck
need a
did,
list. We need a list.
whenever Truck ran the show, cooking or anything he did, whatever he did, run the show, he should have hired a cleanup crew behind him. Okay,
Right.
he's got eggs, he's got biscuits, he's got bacon grease flying up, and he had to catch a 4 a.m. flight the next day or something. The kitchen looked like a war zone. I mean, it was.
To go
man.
follow up what Wayne said, we were in Toledo watching the Toledo Mudhead, and so we went into a pizza place, and Truck didn't like the pizza. He jumped behind a counter and started making his own pizza, throwing it in the air, flipping it in the air. He's yelling, Shakey's Pizza, Shakey's Pizza. He's flipping it in the air, and look, he makes his own pizza, and it came out great. And
They let him do it.
he says, what do you think of Robinson now? And the guy goes, I got to clean all of this crap up. Look, you got stuff everywhere. He had flour everywhere in the whole place. It was all over the place. But the
Oh,
pizza
man.
was good.
We're
Yeah,
talking
I'm sure
about
it was.
cleanliness.
Duck, what's one of the funniest moments you got, Kevin?
Well, come back to the cleanliness part. I remember one of the first times I went to Clemson. Truck had a place on the lake that belonged to somebody, and he brings us there. No, what Saturday morning? He's already gone to the stadium. He said, "I'll be back at about 11 o'clock. Y'all go in and take whatever you want." Well, I went into his kitchen, and I could not believe it looked like Animal House times 10. Both sides of the sink were just overflowing with dirty dishes. I was like, how in the hell can this guy live like this? I literally washed dishes, I guarantee you, for about an hour and a half, or at least a 6-pack of beer to get all his dishes clean. He came back and goes, what happened here? I was like, I ain't better find anything now. I said, Truck, I can't believe you live like this. But it was incredible about, just the way he did not clean up. He was making a show, but he wasn't cleaning up shit. That's for damn sure.
No. I've seen him many times with grilling and tailgating and all that. I ain't got time for that. I ain't got time to do all that. I did everything in front end, dog. I ain't doing anything in the back end. That kind of stuff.
But
Babe,
he
you know
had-
what I'm saying?
I'm sure he had his different on too.
Oh yeah, without a doubt, without a doubt.
Cook.
So, which yeah, what leads us to his grilling skills, and I've seen that a number of times. I'm sure y'all have seen it more than me, but I'm just gonna share something. And we were grilling somewhere. I don't remember where it was, but it was almost a process. You know, he inventories. We got to have a list, but he's talking about the list for half an hour before he even puts a pen on the paper. You know, got to get a list. Got to get a list. Got to get a list. So we get the list. We go to the store. Brian is just this and that, and that, and this and that, and this. I'm like, damn, boy, how much you gonna get? Don't worry about it, dog. Showrunner's got it. Don't worry about it. You know, and he's going about his business, talking 1,000 miles. I don't need that truck. What about? We don't need that, dog. Don't worry about it. You know, so I'm like, but truck, man, ain't no buts, dog. Don't worry about it. You know, showrunner's got it. Showrunner's got it. Third person, of course. You know, we get through. We get back. He's grilling, dude, and nobody goes around the grill. Towel over the shoulder, right, Brian? Towel over the shoulder the whole time. You know what I'm talking about, Darren. You know, towel over the shoulder and running the show, baby, the showrunner.
And just let him do it by himself. He didn't want any help.
If he thought you were okay, he'd call you assistant showrunner. Come on, assistant showrunner. You know, help you out.
Which he didn't do that very
would
often.
be it. Not very often. I got to be assistant showrunner a couple times, so I have the honor of that title a couple times. But talk to me about some more grilling stuff. I mean, as long as Wayne Rickles ain't here, let's talk about his grilling stuff.
When he finally moved back to Lafayette after his extended stay in Clemson, and he got his smoker and his green egg, and you know, he would constantly send myself, Brian, and Ed photos of whatever he was cooking on whatever occasion it may be. It could be an LSU game, it could be Thursday night football, whatever. But he would always send something out, and Brian would always have the same response: "Looks dry, truck. Looks dry to me." And it would just blow it would just blow his mind. You know, you wouldn't know it. You don't know it. We do slides. You wouldn't know what you're talking about.
He's right.
Brian, I got it. Look, I got it, Wayne. He's like,
it was hilarious. You know, he would rarely give up the grill to anybody, right? You know, and that kind of thing. But you know, we talking about that RV trip we took, and I never forget this. We go to Niagara Falls. There's none of us been in Niagara Falls, and we all standing by the railing. I don't know if it was a minute. Truck turns around. All right, he rolls out. Back. I'm going back. Break out the grill.
It's 3 falls. He saw 1 minute of one and said, "I've seen enough. I'm going grill."
Yeah,
got to go to grill.
Well, where was it in Washington D.C.? He didn't go up the stairs.
That Lincoln Memorial. He said, "Y'all going up back?" Yeah, now he going.
Wasn't it the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame?
How many people, Brian? How many people in their life wanted to go to the Masters tournament? Hundreds of thousands of people wanted to go, right? Truck goes, steps out on the ground, go back and go and went to sleep.
Showrunners need their sleep, dog.
He took me and Mark Turner one time went with Truck to the Masters tournament, golf tournament, Friday's round, I think. It was either Thursday or Friday's round. But anyway, we got there bright and early, 8 o'clock. We had already had a couple on the ride up there. We were all feeling good. So we get there, we're walking around. Like I said, we get there about 8, about 9:30. Truck's like, "All right, y'all ready?" We're like, "Ready for what, Truck?" "To go walk, Truck. Well, there's a Hooters around the corner." I said, "Truck, where's the freaking Masters? We ain't leave." Well, I can't be walking around here all day. So we went to the vendor's tent, bought him a chair, put him under a tree, and said, "We'll come back and get you about noon." We go find him about noon. He's half asleep in his chair. And first thing he says, "You already go to Hooters?" "Let's go to Hooters." So we went to Hooters and watched the Masters tournament from the Hooters restaurant.
Man, that's Truck, baby. What you got on this grilling there, Theron?
Oh, that's what I was saying. You know, grilling at Niagara, and then, you know, later when he's living here in Lafayette with me, you know, we go over for a couple functions, and it's like he always had a new cooking, some kind of contraption, you know, something, whether it was an egg, a grill, or this or that. And then finally one day I'm like, "Truck, what do you do with all of this?" He's like, "Oh, I got a storage unit," and it was all cooking. I went with him one day to get the fries, and it was all cooking.
Well, you talk about frying. Okay, I'm gonna tell you a quick story with the camper. We go, me, Wooten, I think it was House, Ed, and Wagner, I think. We do a Dallas Saints game to Arkansas for LSU game in Little Rock. So we get to Little Rock, the quick story the first day we get there, trucks in the back, all bundled up. Well, it's 40 degrees in its camper, and we like, come on, big boy, stop playing with us, turn that heat on. Now, about 5 hours later, we realized Ed Martin had left the front window open, playing his guitar out the window earlier that day, and it was like 35 degrees outside, and the curtain was covering the window, so we didn't know. So
That it was open.
fast forward, we do Thanksgiving dinner there. Truck wouldn't let us touch the dessert. We had to do a full meal, sit around. You couldn't eat. You had to eat your vegetables, your steak before you could get the dessert. Okay.
I believe
So
it.
he fried some stuff or whatever. So we go to cleaning up and all, and they got grease in this fryer. We go clean up. I'll take that back when I get back home. He takes duct tapes the thing full of grease. A year and a half later, they go, it's still full of grease. Dana goes to get the fryer out of the thing. It's duct taped full of 2.5-year-old grease.
There, it sounded like a little Oscar Madison going on with truck.
Yeah.
But that was him. Everything he did was large, was big.
Yeah.
When
Right.
he walked in a room, everybody knew him.
Oh, yeah.
If you didn't know him, you knew him within 5 minutes because he would go talk to you. He was personable.
Yeah.
And while we're talking about that stuff, and he was generous, one of the things I love about him was he knew his music, man. I got to give him props there. He knew his music, and I know we all know his favorite was Eddie Money, but he could definitely talk some Soul Train 70s stuff with me all the time, and that impressed the hell out of me. So he knew his stuff when it came to the music, but when it come to Eddie Money, man, he was a whole nother level with that, like Wagner with Zebra right there.
Yeah,
Something
exactly.
like that. You
know,
know,
the coolest thing was is that everybody knew who Eddie Money was, but Truck really got you into it. Like, and you lived and loved it because he lived and loved it, and then of course he had a way with words, and Big Duck was shaking.
Right. Yeah. That's probably one of the best ad libs I've ever heard before.
Well, okay, I'm gonna talk about a wit, right? In a wit, and could mold into any situation and inject that wit into any situation, any song, anything was hilarious. And the Big Duck was shaking was classic.
Oh, Big Duck was walking, I think, right?
Numerous times when he called Eddie Money and Eddie Money answered the phone.
Yeah.
And they talked for like 10 or 15 minutes. Absolutely. He had his phone number.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Wow. He had his phone number and he would answer the phone when Truck called.
I had no idea about that.
Absolutely.
Truck, wasn't you with him? It was the Star. It was Bally's, the Star Casino when y'all went to go to the concert.
Yeah, I was about to tell that story. Truck.
Yeah.
So Eddie Money's playing at the casino, the riverboat out in the lake in New Orleans East. So he gets a limo, and it's like 8 of us. I forget exactly who it was. So we go to see Eddie Money, who's playing on this boat. So we thinking this is going to be a big deal. Truck's got his tickets. He's got the whole nine. We go to the show, and it was 2 shows. One show was like at 7 o'clock. So we get there. It's early, 6 o'clock, I guess. We walk in, and it's like 300 people in this place. And we're like, this can't be everybody that's coming. Well, sure enough, by the time he started his show, it was maybe 300. If they had 400 people in the show, there was a lot. I mean, it was basically standing next to the stage. So he finishes the show. He played for about an hour and a half, I guess. I says, let's go eat, and we're going to catch the second show. So there's a buffet, of course. We had to go get the buffet. Eddie Money is walking around outside. He said, y'all coming to the next show? Huh? Y'all coming to the next show? And Truck's like, yeah, we're coming. We don't have tickets. Yeah, you don't need tickets. Just come. When I'm telling you, we went to the second show. If there was 50 people there, that was a lot. I mean, we were literally standing next to the stage, next to the microphone where Eddie Money was singing. Truck wound up leaving with the playlist and who knows whatever other props that was on the stage. But it was incredible. And Truck was in his glory. It's just like a personal concert for us.
Solo concert. Whenever Eddie Money saw Truck in the crowd, he would play Trinidad and dedicate it to Truck. He would say, like, this is for Truck. And he'll start playing Trinidad.
That's crazy, man. Yeah. How tall was Eddie Money?
He was actually a big guy. He's taller than me. Yeah, he's probably tall as Truck.
Oh, wow.
He was a big guy.
Yep.
Well, I tell you what, man, I know Truck loved him. He was a great entertainer
Oh,
and,
that was
and
his
all of
guy.
that, outstanding. Man, I think we lost Wayne. I don't know what happened, so I think we lost him, but we're gonna keep rolling on here. So,
Yeah, I remember the day after
Brian, I want
truck
to talk.
passed.
I want to talk. Was that Kevin?
I said I remember the day after truck passed, and I guess we'll get on. I just sat in my backyard, had the television
Yeah.
on, had the TV mute, and just listened to Eddie Money music and cried half the time and laughed half the time, thinking of the different songs and shit we had done, with truck, how much we got missing.
Yeah, absolutely. So I want to get into his nickname Truck for a second, but I think all three of y'all might have been at the game, and I'm gonna bring up Mike Stahl here for a second, and because man, it's one of the funniest things I've ever heard or seen, and I think there was intramural basketball at LSU, and Truck was coaching the team, and I think Wayne's trying to chime in. Let me bring Wayne back in.
Yeah,
All right,
there
I'm
he
There
back.
is.
we go. Hey
I'm
Wayne.
sorry about that.
No, it's okay.
My screen was froze. I had a big one moment. I couldn't figure out how to get back in.
Okay, no problem. So anyway, I'm bringing up a story about Truck when I think he was like coaching y'all's intramural team, and Mike Stahl was on it, and Mike Stahl went to shoot a 3-pointer from deep, and he's like, "No me cakes, no me cakes, no me cakes," and then Mike made the shot. He's like, "Yeah me cakes, yeah me cakes." Darren, were you there for that?
Connor Second's crew. That's right.
Connor Second's crew. That's it.
That was it.
Man.
How we ever finished second? I mean, we were light years worse than the winning team, but Rich and them were way better than us.
A bunch of LSU athletes, one of their football players.
Yeah, when
Jeffrey Dale, Lifford Hobley, they were all on that team.
No, but then the last one was Mark Richard, Joey Simon,
yeah.
the track dude Lewis Calloway could jump out the gym.
I remember watching. You talking about Lifford High? Remember he.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Athlete, man.
I still don't need
but
5'8" and a
Truck
half,
was the
though.
coach, though, wasn't he, of y'all team? The Connor Second's Truck was the coach, right?
Yeah, Connor Second's crew.
Man, but Mike Stahl still laughed to this day. No meat cakes, no meat. Yeah, meat cakes. Yeah, meat cakes.
Well, and y'all talked about Truck's reach, right? Truck talked Dalton Heed into playing with us in a 2-lane golf tournament.
Yeah.
Well, I got a great Truck story to tell you how connected he was. He called me one time. He was on the 50-yard line at a Notre Dame stadium. I think Clemson played Notre Dame. He was talking to the general manager of the Arizona Cardinals and the general manager of the San Francisco 49ers on the 50-yard line. And he was calling me to confirm a story he was telling about Ed Martin because nobody would believe the story.
About Ed Martin?
Yeah.
He's telling the two GMs a story about Ed Martin?
He's like, I got to put you on speaker, confirm that this happened. And I said,
there was actually a story. There's actually two general managers heard a story about Sonny Six Point. I mean,
Sonny Six, yeah, the guy from San Francisco who he worked with, who was at Clemson, and the other guy was K-I-E-M from Arizona. They were general managers. He went from Ed Martin story.
He went from Sonny 6 Point to Sonny 6 million.
Then he's probably like, hold on, Brian. He's probably like, hold on, Eddie Money's calling me right now. That's crazy. So look, let's go to his nickname for a second because I always love talking about that. So his nickname was Truck, and we all know that came from old Leonard Truck Robinson from back in the day. As Brian said, Tennessee State. And I think Truck always is 6'7", 245. Truck knew the statistics and everything all the time, man. And
nobody
Truck was
ever knew Truck's real name. Nobody.
No.
Like
I didn't know his real name.
Was.
To probably off second or third year in high school, I didn't know his name was Donald. Yeah.
Nobody.
Even the teachers called him Truck.
Yeah, everybody called him Truck.
Even the teachers did.
I mean, when we would go out, nobody had a real name. I just remember the girls in the bar going, "Here comes them dudes again. Here come them guys again. Short Bull, Robinson, Duck, Bain. Nobody had a real name.
All in code, baby. All in code.
Yeah. Yeah, that's those guys again. They're all talking code.
Right. Brian, you were probably the closest to having your real name.
Yeah. No doubt, yes.
But no, Duck had a funny story earlier about Duck and Brian. I was cracking up laughing when y'all was saying it. And throw it to Robinson. Throw it to Robinson.
Throw it to Robinson.
Who the hell's Robinson?
Who's
Feed me the
Robinson?
rock. Feed me the rock.
Yeah, feed me the rock. Feed me the rock. That's it. The Ducks in the gym's like, man, who's this dude? Man? Shoot, like Wayne said, he ain't backpedaling playing defense either, man.
No.
Talking about his nickname. I remember one time Ed and I were playing golf at LSU's golf course on Thursday afternoon. We run across Eric Martin. And Eric had just began playing golf, so he wasn't very good. But so anyway, three of us wound up playing a couple of holes together, and we kept saying, "Yeah, you must, our friend, Donald." He's like, "Donald," we're talking going back to nobody knew him but anything but Truck. No Truck. Oh, you mean Hymel? Hymel. He wouldn't call him Hymel. He called him Hymel.
Eric Martin was the greatest. Now you brought up Eric Martin. Eric Martin's the greatest. Just a Truck story with Eric Martin. So somebody talking about Eric Martin. Somebody goes, yeah, he's in one of my classes. He came the first day and he never came back. And Truck goes, last time I looked, they wasn't throwing books on the field.
He said 70,000 will come watch you take a test.
Exactly. But he's like, he goes up to Seth. All right, son, what did it take you to get you to Archbishop Shaw? What kind of video games you like and all this kind of stuff? He's already lobbying him, man.
He was always recruiting.
Always, dude. And then we go to LSU Seth's senior year when he was at Holy Cross. And we go over and met him by the RVs, where he's grilling and cooking out. I got a picture of me and him with Seth. And, man, it's a great picture. And, oh, yeah, he's coming up. Seth, what's it going to take you to get to LSU? What's it going to take to get you to LSU? And he ends up going there. One of the first people I call, the top 5 or 6 people I call, was Truck to let him know that Seth was going to go to LSU to be, he made the band and all that.
And he was fired up about it, I'm sure.
Oh, dude, he followed him the whole time he was there. It couldn't have been more supportive of him with everything. Took some pictures with him a couple of times. But like Wayne said, that's the kind of guy he was, man. He was just a everyday dude, just spreading love all the time and being nice and supportive as could be. And, especially with my son, which Seth was just, man, Dad, who's that guy? Seth loved him, which was hilarious. So, but he was a magnet for people like that just because of his personality,
I mean, the stories are all fine, but the things he's done, and Truck didn't always go about it the smartest way to get something done, but Truck will work hard at getting something done. And he's going to work hard till it's done.
Right.
And Shaw would not have that athletic facility they have if it wasn't for Truck. They didn't want to do that fence. Truck said, they didn't want to do the fence. Truck just said, we just going to build a fence. What about later? Right. That thing's beautiful. It encompasses that whole campus. And he stayed on top of them, not money-wise, but with the stadium, it was him and believe it or not, another guy that's Ed Daniels.
Yeah.
Were the two big promoters on that stadium. And we should have had a stadium 30 years ago.
You damn right.
Can you imagine?
You damn right.
Back when we had those good teams and
yep.
packing the people on there. But there's a difference about people coming for a job or people coming to do it because they got passion.
Yeah.
And he loved that school more than anybody. He didn't care if he made a dime. He did it.
Sure
I mean,
did.
we all, in some true form, we all did that. I mean, he and I did things. I mean, Darren Barbier got the head coaching job at Nicholls State. Nicholls State's football facility was worse than public school. Their equipment was so horrible. Me and Truck went to Nicholls State and spent a whole weekend refurbishing every helmet they had. I mean, you can't find people like him. Just a little weekend work. Just something like that can do. Just he always had a vision,
He had visions for things. That's right. I was
Spruce it
about to say
up.
that.
That's all it took. We used to get so disgusted when we going in. The showers have equipment in it because no one uses showers since '83 or whatever.
Wow.
It just needed a little love. TLC. Nobody. He cared about that school, the campus.
It
wasn't about a
go,
paycheck with him.
Didn't he
That's where
kind of
the
go
passion
undercover
was.
to get the lights for the baseball stadium? Didn't he kind of like overreach his?
Yeah, they wasn't gonna get those lights if it wasn't for him. Look, Chalk was good at selling the dog and pony show now.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
You just can't believe it. It might, but it always worked out in the end. Sooner or later, it worked out. You might have a little. You might have a little. You might have some board meetings where they're like, "What
Like
the
you said,
hell are we doing
he has to
here?"
forget.
Right,
But
right.
stuff. We all know that if you're afraid to take chances, nothing's going to get done.
Mhm.
You got to take chances, and
Yeah,
if nobody
absolutely.
steps out on a limb because he cared, he knew it wasn't going to get done. I
Since we
mean, we all
left.
love the school, but I mean, it was
Yeah.
so far behind times.
Oh,
It
yeah.
was the
Like you
same
said,
since
when
the
that
time
stadium
we
should have been built years ago, man, but it got done. That's what counts. And Truck actually majorly contributed to a lot of things over there.
Mhm.
And
But
I
we used
think
to
I
tell
heard that.
people is
Go ahead.
we didn't have Jasmine Holy Cross had people that were 120 years old.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
We
The legacy stuff.
now
Yeah.
have 70-something year olds.
Right. Well, it's getting there, and I think things are getting better. And what I see with the Eagle Gridiron Club that Jason's running, and I see a lot of good things going on. And I told a lot of those guys that we were going to be doing a podcast in Truck's memorial for him, just a dedication, a celebration of Truck, if you want to call it that. And everybody couldn't have been more supportive, and can't wait to see it. So I'm really glad we were able to, get this together and pull this off. So as I move into one of our last questions here, hopefully, I know we lost Kevin here for a minute, but what I want to say is Truck's son Jack. How old is Jack now? About Wayne?
I think Jack just turned 10.
Yeah, he's 10.
10. Okay. Okay. So if you could right now, and hopefully, this will be something that'll be a great memory for Jack as he gets older, as we talking about his dad, and everything's real positive. We love Truck. But if you could say something to Jack about his dad, what
Oh
would you
man,
say to him?
I
Go
want to
ahead,
tell you,
Wayne.
I've never, in all the years I've known Truck, I've never seen Truck be more happy or proud than when he became a father. And I'm gonna tell you, once again, when he did it, he did it.
Right.
All good. Truck would, Dana work. Truck's hours were a little more flexible. Take him to the, school every day, and I mean, he
Right.
just loved, and he took him to ball game. I think Truck something in the back of his mind knew. We all knew, and he always worried about this. How long am I gonna be around?
Right. Right.
He didn't think he'd be going early, but I mean, that was his eyes, and I'm gonna get a little upset here, but I mean,
That's okay.
he nothing he loved more than that boy and Dana, and him and Dana were. That was his, but he tried to spend every minute he could, and I think in some way that maybe that was another being God's way of saying you need to spend all the time you can with him.
Right.
And
Right.
it's whether or not he passed the way he did, Jack he was probably would never see his grandkids,
Right. Right.
just because of age, but he loved them more than anything, Jack, and he would be proud of you, Jack. You taking care of your
Excellent.
mama, and he'd be proud of you.
Thanks, Wayne. Kevin, go ahead. If you could say something to Jack about his
You're right.
dad?
Like I said, it was unfortunate because Jack he was almost 50 years old when Jack was born. So, he didn't have a whole lot of time with him. I do remember, like you said, when he had that last job with the turf company, him taking Jack on some private planes to go to different baseball, games and what have you. And I think his goal was to do all the baseball stadiums. Obviously that didn't happen, but, just that,
Right.
that's, but I mean, I would tell JP, call him JP, that Truck,
Right.
he didn't live that long, but he lived a full life. And he always knew how to
Yeah.
have a good time. He always take care of his buddies, whether it be going on baseball trips and he got the tickets, he got the hotel rooms, or come see Clemson's playing in Miami. I got hotel rooms for you. He always took care of everybody before he took care of himself.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
that's what I remember about Truck. He's always up for a good.
Yeah.
First,
Go ahead,
foremost,
Wayne.
not his family, but Truck was a family man through and through. And I'm talking about
Yeah.
with his mom and dad. He was
Oh,
the
Oh, yeah,
most
absolutely.
family oriented. He came down on weekends, every weekend with his parents. I mean, Truck had that. I mean, he was
He
one of
loved his
10
mom and
kids,
dad, man. Yeah.
and every
his
one of them
sisters and
kids
all.
loved their mom and dad. Every one of them loved their mom and dad. But I'm gonna tell you, Truck loved Papa Ed and Mama Stella. He loved
Right.
those people.
Right. Without a doubt.
say it, I remember going to Truck's funeral and telling his sister telling me that they didn't tell Truck's father that he had passed because it would kill him. And ironically,
Right.
the day Truck was late,
Yeah.
putting in the
It
ground,
did.
his dad passed away. So, I
Right.
guess that,
He
that
knew.
yeah, it speaks volumes.
I'm with Wayne. He knew. Yeah. He knew some kind of way he knew,
I'm
No,
sorry,
good
sir.
point. And yeah, I forgot all about that. Go ahead, Big Theron.
Yeah, so I mean, having a minute with Truck, and Jack being here, and our kids going to the same school and spending some time together. One thing I would say to Jack was number one, he loved being your dad. Number two, his passion for life and his passion for sports, passion for his friends and all just bled through. You could see it when he walked into a room. Anyone that knew him immediately had a smile on their face and they had the hand out to shake his hand.
Right.
Everybody wanted to be around him. Everybody wanted the opportunity to. I mean, I'm one of the lucky ones that he kind of took under his wing and then took and experienced these life experiences that I've been telling stories about for 40 years.
Right.
It's be proud that you're his son. And number two, like I said, your dad lived a life that most people don't know much about. And again, you were his passion, and very proud to be your dad.
Excellent. Baines, wrap us up here with that.
The thing I would tell Jack is to emulate from Truck's life is the fact that, and I'm serious about this, there is no better friend or guy that you could have in your corner than him. Nobody.
Right.
Nobody.
When
Never.
he was your friend and he was in your corner, there was no better person than that. And that friendship, I mean, I have thousands of great memories that I had with Truck, and Truck took care of all of us. He
Right.
took care of every
Right.
single one of us. And I think a lot of reason why we are where we are to a degree
Because
is
of him.
he took care of us. Like
Yeah.
he used to always say, my mom said that you got to eat your vegetables. He would make me eat my vegetables because my mom told him that one time. But he just took care of everybody. He was way more concerned about everybody else than he was about himself.
Yeah, absolutely.
Without a doubt. Without a doubt. Without a
100%.
doubt.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
I'm gonna participate in this too. And one thing I would tell Jack is that your father is the kind of guy that everybody wanted to be around. And I think everybody admires somebody like that. And so much from the standpoint of not that he'll make you laugh, but he'll befriend you. He's a great wingman. He's a great leader. And he also, as everybody alluded to, he always had a handshake for you. He wanted to make your time better when you were around him. And I can tell you, when I went to LSU game, I walked all the way across campus. It was almost 100 degrees with my son Seth because I wanted him to see Truck. And that's how important it was for me. I didn't even care about the game. I just wanted him to go out there and see the showrunner out there with the grill and the RV. And man, you talk about somebody in his element with a bunch of people around there, right,
You all
Wayne?
right, dog.
He's a legend.
He,
For your son to
he,
bring,
he is.
I can't tell you the number of people I brought for the first time to the tailgate with me and Truck were cooking all that. And he loved meeting new people.
Right.
And by the time they left, they were one of us. He never forgot you.
Exactly.
They surely never
Exactly.
forgot him.
Yeah. With the people that loved him, if you were with him, then you had carte blanche. I mean,
You're one of us. Yeah.
Truck walked me into and Wagner in several situations at Clemson where we should have been working as a doorman or something, but we were the kings of the room because we were with Truck. Truck walked me
Right.
into the Essos Club. There's 9,000 people here. He introduced me to the owner. The owner looks at me and says, "Hey, you know what a beer is? It's in this cooler over here. You walk over there." I said, "Hey, you could dance on the bar." He said, "Yeah." He goes, "Well, knock yourself out." He walked away. I had the run of the bar the whole weekend. He was just he was just that guy, and earned respect people gave him. And
You go,
Wow. Wow. Yeah, he was an influential guy when he was determined. There's no doubt about that, man. When he was focused in on something, just get out of the way because like y'all said, he's going to find a way to make it happen. And he's got a
Yeah.
vision with things, and if he's on a mission, he's going to get it done. So, and I think Baines, I think y'all have all seen that, right?
I've seen it in spades.
he did so much stuff for Tommy Bowden. That's why he took him with him.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
mean,
sure.
they were doing August practice in St. Paul's, The fields aren't lined. Truck went out and lined the field. This has nothing to do with his job, nothing to do with, but
Right,
nobody
right.
stepped up to the plate. Truck went out and lined the fields himself.
You know how he is, man. Somebody got to do it. Somebody got to take care of business here. You know,
Go running. Go running.
show runner,
Yeah,
show runner. So,
this
well,
is
look,
probably
Great job. Hey, Jay, I just want to thank you before we get off. Thanks a lot, buddy. This was great.
oh man, no, it's my pleasure, and I'm so glad you guys made time for this. And I've been
And
talking
Dana and
to
Jack and Truck's family, whoever watches this, we love that boy.
well, anyway, look, we're gonna wrap it up here. I want to see give each of y'all a chance to just have a parting word with everything. This is a tribute to our great friend, and so Brian, why don't you go ahead and go first, brother?
It was good to like talk about all of the great things all the great times we had with Truck. I always find like me and Ed sitting around here, and Truck's name's always brought up every time we're together, and we just start cracking up laughing at the things that happen. So it's a lot
Right.
of good to have get all these memories and kind of rehash them. It was fun.
Absolutely.
No matter
Thank
where
you,
I'm
Brian.
at, his name comes up. But one thing I want to say right now is him and Biggs are up there right now fighting over who's going to
They're
watch
arguing
what
about
game, and
something.
they fighting right now up there. They're arguing about something right now.
You got
Well,
that
wherever
right.
they are, somebody's going to be kicking them out of the stadium or the crowd. I can tell you that right now. Biggs will be
Love
kicked out
those boys.
first. So,
Yes,
Wayne,
you
why don't you
would.
give me a parting word with everything, man?
Did a great job. I mean, I wanted to do what I did, but I wanted to do a truck. I wanted to do what Truck did. You know, I'm not saying I wouldn't have done it without Truck, but it made it that much easier to have somebody a year ahead of me to open the doors and show you how to do it. You know, you still got to
Right,
do it
right.
yourself, but without him, it wouldn't have open those doors. And the things that me and him experienced in college, no one gets that experience. The
Right.
people we
Right.
met, I'm driving to A&M with a carload of people who don't know the connection I have with Eric Martin. I pick up the phone, I call E, I say, E, you going to the game? A&M. He goes, oh man, I can't make it this game. He goes, but I can hook y'all up at this tailgate by the stadium. So finally we find it. It's not a tailgate by the stadium. It's the only tailgate against the stadium. It's probably got $1 million worth of stuff in it and food. And Eric Martin said, we met the man, and the man talked to us for hours, and Eric didn't even go. But that's the kind of relationship that we experienced. And without Truck being a year out of me, who knows what happened, you know?
Yeah.
But he influenced so many lives. You know, we all make mistakes, and none of us are perfect.
No, we're
He
all
wasn't
human, man.
perfect, but I tell you what, that boy had a heart. He had a heart of gold.
Yeah, had a big heart. Thanks, Wayne. Appreciate it, brother. Duck, what you got, man?
I just appreciate the times we had together. You know, had a lot of good forward, but certainly we'll keep those ones we had in the past, whether it be in the backyard or in Clemson or in Miami, wherever it would have been, LSU. It was always a good time when he was around.
Yeah, definitely. Appreciate it, brother. Big Turk, what you got for me, man?
oh, just a big thank you to him, just simply because he afforded an opportunity to a lot of dudes. He made connections between a lot of dudes. Just all these guys just being around, and you see it on us today. Just the memories that we all have and smiles that he put on our faces. You know, just appreciate the opportunity to be part of all that. And I'm gonna steal this from
Absolutely.
Duck. If I had something to tell me, save me one.
Save me
That's it.
one.
There you go. Save me one.
Everyone.
So I'm just going to repeat it again. Truck is the kind of guy that people just wanted to be around. And he always had a positive thing for somebody, always had a hand out to help somebody. If you needed him in the middle of the night, as Wayne would say, he was there to help you out, man. And he was also like the ultimate connector. If you needed a connection with something, man, he made it happen. And
He wasn't scared.
no, he wasn't scared at all. And not everybody has that type of skill. That's just a part of his showrunner persona. But reveled in that, man. He enjoyed it. And he wasn't looking for credit. He wanted to
No,
help. He was
Never.
really humble. And I think we need to make sure that people understand what we're saying here. He was not one to go out and brag about helping people out, man. He'd help out and then he'd slide into the background. And very humble when it came to he didn't want any accolades or any acknowledgement for that. And I saw people show the love back to him. And the biggest way I thought that he would love to see is just he loved people to be around him and just enjoy the company of hanging out together. And it's real simple stuff as far as I'm concerned, but he touched thousands of lives, man. It's beyond hundreds. He touched thousands of lives in his journey along the way. And man, he was just a true friend. And I know you guys were a lot closer to him than I was, but man, he's a brother to all of us. And he's missed tremendously all the time. And I think the important thing that we can do for his family and for Jack especially as we keep that legacy alive of him. We keep the positive stories going and pass them down, because there's going to be another truck in another generation somewhere, and hopefully that person will have the effect on people's lives that he did. And he was just an amazing guy. He's a legend at Archbishop Shaw. He accomplished a lot at LSU and Tulane and Clemson, and just with friends and people in general, just from all the stories that we shared today. So again, as we wrapping up here, this could go on for another 5 hours. Y'all know that, you know.
Yeah, but it would deteriorate quickly.
Right,
Yeah.
right. We got to keep it above the line for everything. But
Yeah, we
and
we
have
can
to
go
do
have a
this
cocktail
without.
and make it keep it a little more
The next
real,
one
though,
will have
man.
to be without a recorder and a camera. Okay.
Right, man. That social media would have been brutal when we were younger. I can tell you that. I saw his look and I started laughing. You know, it's a
I
good
went
thing
for
they
it.
didn't have it there.
That would have been so much trouble.
Oh my God.
Yeah, just me. Just me.
But anyway, right.
I
So
think we
anyway,
all
look,
would have got rolled under the bus at some point or another because we all got
No
stories
doubt.
on each other too.
No
You got
doubt,
that.
no doubt. Well, as my favorite phrase is, that's for another podcast, Aaron.
That's right.
Yes.
Take it there.
Until we
Well,
meet
again,
again.
guys, yeah, I can't tell you how much I appreciate everything. Y'all been great. And all of y'all,
Good job,
when I
dog.
broached this with everybody, when I
Thank you,
broached it with
dog.
everyone, everybody was like, hell yeah, right
Love
on,
you,
let's
Dana
do it.
and Jack. Dana and
Hell
Jack,
yeah.
love you.
Thanks,
So
Jay.
anyway, that's a wrap here.
All right.
And, we thank everybody. And again, if you would, please subscribe. Go follow us on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcast, on iHeartRadio, and also on Amazon Music. We advertise the show on X, formerly Twitter, TikTok, Facebook, LinkedIn. We're all over the place. And this one will be going all over. And, of course, I ask you guys to share it when I put it out. Probably this. So, again, with all that, appreciate everyone. We go keep Big Truck memory alive with everything, and we'll catch you on the flip side for the next episode of In the Pocket with Jay Bo. Thank y'all.
Thank you, one
All
dog.
right. Thank you, Jay.